All the way around the edge, you want to put these pins a little bit neater than what I'm doing. I'm trying to be expedient here. And then, after it's all pinned, then you take the glue and put it underneath here, and then hold it. The glue takes a little while to glue, so you hold it until it dries. Then you take a few more pins out, and again, the tacky glue, and then fold it over and hold it. I pinned it so that it would stay in place, so that it won't shift, and so you have cold sores. So, and the corners are the hardest part, but you can do it. And like I said, it may take a couple of tries, but take it easy, and you'll be very, very proud of your work. All right? Now, let's go on to the next step. Once we have our puppet head done, then we're ready to put on the features. So there are a lot of different things that you could do with the nose and the eyes. One of the nice things with noses is you take a circle of the same kind of material and stitch it around the edge and stuff it with polyester fiberfill and then sew it. Well, first of all, I always pin on things first because then you don't know if it's permanently there. We also need the eyes. Now, if you go to a craft store, but you don't have to go to a craft store, you can make your own. I have a 50-cent piece here and a nickel here to show you that you could trace that on some white felt, the 50-cent piece, and then the nickel on some black felt, and then put those together, and those would make nice eyes. But a craft store has really nice eyes. I use sometimes, here's one called owl eyes, but you can paint them or you can use them just like they are. It depends on what kind of a character you use. The favorite are animal eyes. There's different sizes. They're dark brown on the outside. I have a dove, that's my magic pack, so she just wants to get in on the show. Dark circle in the center, and there's animal eyes that are blue on the outside and dark on the inside. There are all kinds of eyes. Wiggle eyes are really good for focusing. They're different sizes. They're oblong, there's oval, more animal eyes that are clear on the outside, and there's some, they're called animal eyes, but they don't necessarily look that way. There's some with blue and black. You just go to the craft stores and see what you can find. Now, what I've always done with the eyes that are flat, like the wiggle eyes, is I don't want to permanently glue them until I see where they should go, so I take a hairpin, bend it over like this, and then I tape that on, and then it'll poke right into the material till I find the right spot for it. You can make eyebrows to put on the top. Now, the noses, not only what I just told you about the stuffy nose, you stuff somebody's nose, you can use styrofoam and take a slice. Get a knife and slice off a piece, and then cover it with, there's different kinds of adhesives. I talked about tacky glue a little while ago. If you don't like using tacky glue on your finger, then what I do is put a little plastic bag over my hand and use it like that. But it's not that bad. It washes off. You wash it right away. There's spray adhesive. You read your directions on the glue just to see. There's tacky glue from Riddle & Company. And you can use, there's certain kind of paint that you can use on styrofoam. There's, this pink would be pretty on a pink puppet. So just experiment. You can find all kinds of things. All right, that's the nose and the eyes, eyebrows. Now, if it's a girl and it's got wiggle eyes, you can put eyelashes on. You can get some false eyelashes at a craft store, or even regular false eyelashes in a dime store. Make her look really good. And then a white behind the part of her eye to soften the look. Now, hair. What are we going to do about hair? As you've seen, my puppets have a lot of different hair. Well, there's what's called fantasy fur. There's gray, and there's black, and there's black and white, There is gold, and there's red. Now, if it's a comic character, you can have blue, green, a lot of different colors, something funny. Yellow, Chuckles My Clown has that. And with that same fur, there's brown, that same fur you can make these long curls, get the end of a big wooden spoon, or sew a piece of fur sideways. By sideways, I mean cut it so that it's going that way, the nap's going that way. And I put this on a dowel stick or on the end of a spoon and spray, use spray net. I like this Paul Mitchell. and but you can have any kind of spray net. Spray it around and spray, brush and spray and brush and spray till you make a lot of curls. Well, there are also wigs. I've got various wigs. You can pick them up at yard sales, at resale shops, and there are some really nice wig companies. I've got some of my nicer puppets, Peggy and Scarlett, have expensive wigs. Not really expensive. They don't cost that much. But here's a couple different companies that have wigs that if you write to me and say, would you please send me the address of a wig company, and I will send it to you. Remember, my address is Barbara Dewey, 731 North State, Alma, Michigan, 48801. I'll send these patterns to you, but you have to tell me what you want, because I don't know. I'm offering a lot of things for free, and you just tell me what you want, and I will send it. I looked up some of the old heads that I had, say 10 years ago, more Granny. It's been almost 20 years, and this is just fake fur. I laid a piece out. She's got a part right there, and just started combing, spraying, pinned around the edge, and then sewed it later when I saw it was in the right place. Now, this is absolutely the original puppet, because I put her mouth in wrong, and you see on the edges how her mouth is. So I was so excited when I first made her. She was great. And that's 20 years ago, almost 20 years ago. Now, she was made until the next time I made her was with a soft velour and her little glasses. And again, just a piece of fake fur. Now, I made curls on the back of her head with a ribbon. The Granny split into two characters, actually. Mrs. Granny Pringle again, and then Lady Dundee is her fancy character. She has on these little eyes that have the eyelid that I'll send you in the pattern with the eyelid, and they've got little plastic eyelashes that you can get at a craft store, and some old-fashioned glasses, the curls in the back, and just this has got polyester inside to make her head taller. Just lay out the cloth, lay out the fur, and start pinning and start cutting. Don't be afraid. If you make a mistake, sew it back on. And this was done by a friend of mine, David, and he's got a cut over. He was a hairdresser. He teaches cosmetology, and so he cut around the ears. And that's got polyester in the top of the head too. And Professor, the original Professor. No, this wasn't the original one. His original one was rubber-headed. His nose is, see, I can't remember. I don't know, that's something really hard. Just hard cotton. See, just a strip of fake fur all around the edge to simulate baldness. Where did George go? George doesn't have any hair at all. People felt bad when I traded George for the rubber head, but I like it better. But there he's got little plastic eyes and styrofoam inside his nose and cloth inside his ears. But you have to make them real smooth if you're going to have a bald puppet. This was, long, almost 20 years ago. This was Jose. I don't have a Jose anymore. I have a Pancho. He's got a leather. This is when I was experimenting. He's got a leather mouth sewn through there, and a cotton nose, a stuffed nose, and little black eyes. And a friend of mine named Marge had a dummy that had a wave in his wig, and I wanted to make one too. So the joke is, I had a wave in my hair. You don't have any wave in your hair. Your hair is absolutely straight. See, I do. And then his wig will wave. It used to wave anyway. It would go back and forth. Oh, that was good for a laugh. These crazy ears for a comic character that you put on from a Halloween. Halloween is a great time for finding all kinds of props. There's also, I just found after Halloween is a good time to go, a nose and glasses set that I like to have these kind of noses and glasses so that if you ever want to go shopping and not have anyone recognize you, that's what you can wear. See?